There is a principle that separates those who drift through life from those who shape life, the ability to act as if everything always works out. This is not blind optimism, it is a disciplined mindset, a deliberate choice to see possibilities where others see obstacles, to believe in outcomes even when evidence is scarce. Here are the 16 truths that form the foundation of this mindset to act as if everything always works out. The first step is to develop an unwavering belief in the outcome you desire. This belief must be cultivated even before you see any evidence in your external world. When you convince yourself that success is inevitable, you ignite an inner energy that drives persistence and courage. Doubt is the enemy of progress, and when it lingers, it weakens your resolve and leads to hesitation. But when belief becomes your default state, you begin to move with clarity and purpose, knowing that what you are seeking is already on its way to you. Visualization is a powerful extension of this belief. By mentally experiencing your goals as already accomplished, you program your subconscious mind to align every action and decision with that vision. This mental rehearsal creates familiarity with success and removes the fear of the unknown. When you see and feel the outcome repeatedly in your imagination, it becomes easier to behave in ways that naturally bring it into reality. What once felt distant begins to feel inevitable for the remainder of your life, and your actions start reflecting the person you are becoming rather than the circumstances you are in. Guarding your inner dialogue is essential because every word you speak to yourself plants seeds in your mind. Negative self-talk leads to negative results, while affirmations of certainty create resilience. Speaking in terms of when instead of if shifts your energy from uncertainty to assurance. Even in moments of adversity, maintaining statements like, "It is working out for me," keeps you calm and focused. This discipline transforms your mindset so completely that others will sense your confidence long before they understand your vision. Challenges, instead of discouraging you, should be used as proof that you are on the right path. Every obstacle becomes a sign that you are making progress, because resistance only appears where growth is taking place. When you anchor yourself in gratitude for even the smallest signs of movement, you magnify them. Gratitude shifts your focus away from what is missing and onto what is unfolding, allowing you to act with patience and strength. Through this lens, delays become preparation, and waiting becomes training for what lies ahead. Finally, persistence combined with faith creates unstoppable momentum. Acting as if everything always works out does not mean idly waiting for miracles. It means moving daily with discipline and certainty, trusting that your actions and belief will eventually meet at the finish line. When you hold this vision despite external noise, you become immune to discouragement. Over time, the remainder of the world begins to reflect back the faith you held so firmly. Acting as if everything works out is not just a mindset. It is the quiet force that turns unseen possibilities into visible realities. When you imagine the goal as complete, you give your mind a clear destination to aim for. Most people wait until they have reached the finish line to celebrate, but those who achieve greatness celebrate it first in their thoughts. This mental picture acts like a blueprint, guiding your choices and decisions without you even realizing it. The more vivid you can make this vision, the more real it feels, and the stronger your actions align with it. You begin to move toward it naturally, as if it were already part of your reality. Living in the vision mentally allows you to bypass fear and hesitation. When you can already see yourself succeeding, doubt loses its grip on you. You no longer question whether it is possible. You focus instead on the steps to bring it into form. This shift in focus frees you from the weight of uncertainty and fills you with quiet confidence. Each day, your thoughts reinforce the belief that success is not distant. It is inevitable. As you hold this image, your energy changes. People can sense the certainty in your voice and the conviction in your actions. Opportunities begin to reveal themselves because you are now acting in harmony with your vision. This harmony creates momentum, and momentum draws you closer to the life you've already experienced in your imagination. The clearer the picture in your mind, the quicker the world around you adjusts to match it. Visualization also strengthens your ability to persist during setbacks. When challenges arise, instead of being discouraged, you remind yourself of the finished picture you've been carrying in your mind. This picture becomes your anchor, something you return to in moments of doubt. It gives you the courage to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. You learn to treat obstacles as temporary delays rather than permanent barriers. In time, the vision you have imagined so often becomes your reality. It no longer surprises you when success arrives because you have already lived it countless times in your mind. This is the power of imagining the goal complete. It transforms what once felt impossible into something inevitable. When you hold the vision long enough and align your actions with it, life eventually has no choice but to catch up to the picture you have already created within. Your thoughts are the foundation of everything you experience. Every belief, every decision, every action begins first as a thought, and this is why guarding them is so important. A mind left unguarded will absorb the doubts, fears, and negativity of the world around it, slowly shaping a reality that reflects those same doubts. When you learn to treat your mind like a fortress, you become selective about what enters it. Only ideas that strengthen you are allowed in, while thoughts that weaken you are firmly rejected. Discipline is not developed overnight, but is built daily through awareness and conscious choice. Replacing doubt with certainty is a deliberate practice. When uncertainty whispers, "What if it doesn't work out?" you counter with the truth, "Everything is working out for me." These words are not just affirmations, they are commands to your subconscious mind, programming it to search for solutions rather than excuses. Over time, this repetition rewires your mental pattern, making faith your natural response instead of fear. What you say to yourself consistently is what your mind eventually believes, and what it believes is what it creates. In your darkest moments, this discipline matters most. It is easy to speak of faith when life is going well, but the true test comes when you face setbacks, rejection, or silence from the world. In those moments, your inner voice will either push you forward or pull you down. By choosing certainty, you refuse to surrender control to circumstances. You remind yourself that storms pass, and what lies beyond them is worth the struggle. Acting from this place of calm strength gives you the courage to continue even when nothing yet seems to be working. The way you guard your thoughts also influences the energy you project to others. People are drawn to those who radiate confidence and clarity, even if they don't fully understand why. This inner certainty attracts opportunities, partnerships, and ideas that mirror your mindset. Life responds to the energy you carry, and when you walk with quiet conviction, you invite circumstances that align with that conviction. Guarding your thoughts is not just about personal peace. It's about creating an external reality that reflects your internal discipline. Eventually, this practice becomes second nature. You no longer have to fight to control your thoughts because certainty has replaced doubt at the core of who you are. Challenges still arise, but they no longer shake you. You handle them with calm, knowing that every obstacle is temporary and every delay is part of the process. By treating your mind like a fortress and filling it with words of faith, you create a life that consistently unfolds in your favor. Over time, the remainder of the belief that it's working out for me stops being a statement you repeat. It becomes the truth you live. Most people delay action because they want to know every detail of how things will unfold before they begin. They wait for certainty, for perfect plans, for guarantees that simply do not exist at the start of any worthwhile journey. The truth is that clarity rarely comes before movement. It comes as a reward for taking the first step. When you release the need to see the entire path and instead focus on what you can do today, you free yourself from paralysis and open yourself to possibilities you could not have predicted. Faith becomes the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the quiet assurance that while you may not know every step, the next one will reveal itself when it's time. This doesn't mean you abandon planning. It means you stop trying to control outcomes you cannot yet see. By trusting the process, you give yourself permission to act even in uncertainty. That single decision, to trust rather than overthink, often separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck. When you act without needing all the answers, you also create momentum. Each step you take uncovers new information, new opportunities, and new connections that would have remained hidden had you stayed still. Progress creates its own map, but you only see it by moving forward. Over time, the fear of the unknown fades because you realize the path is built under your feet as you walk. This approach also strengthens resilience. Life will rarely unfold exactly as you imagined, but that doesn't mean it isn't working in your favor. When you release attachment to a specific route and focus instead on the outcome, you can adapt to challenges with grace. Every detour and delay becomes part of the process rather than evidence of failure. For the remainder of life, you learn to welcome the unexpected because you trust it's guiding you towards something even better than what you originally planned. In the end, acting with faith rather than fear allows you to move forward despite incomplete information. You stop waiting for perfect timing or flawless plans and start building as you go. The path may not always be straight, but each step reveals the next, and eventually you look back to realize you've arrived at your destination. By trusting that the steps will unfold when needed, you give yourself the freedom to live boldly and create outcomes that would have been impossible if you waited for certainty first. Obstacles are often misunderstood. Most people see them as signs to stop or slow down, assuming that resistance means something is wrong. But the truth is, obstacles are confirmation that you're moving forward. They only appear when you step out of comfort and into growth. If everything felt easy and smooth, it would likely mean you're not stretching yourself enough. The presence of challenges signals movement, and that is something to be embraced, not feared. When you begin to view adversity as a sign that you're on the right path, everything changes. Instead of retreating at the first sign of difficulty, you lean in. You start to expect resistance, not with dread, but with confidence, knowing it's part of the process. Each obstacle becomes a training ground, preparing you for what you've asked for. The skills you gain, the strength you build, and the wisdom you earn in the struggle are not detours. They are the very tools that will help you succeed. This shift in perception transforms setbacks into fuel. You no longer internalize failure as something personal or permanent. Instead, you treat it as data, as feedback pointing you toward a better approach. Your emotional response to problems becomes calmer, more calculated. You stop wasting time on self-pity and begin investing that time into solutions. Over time, you realize that the only difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond when things get hard. By embracing obstacles, you also build an unshakable mindset. Each time you push through a difficult situation, your confidence grows. You begin to develop a quiet certainty that you can handle anything life throws at you. This inner strength becomes your greatest asset. It's not about avoiding pain or failure. It's about knowing you can rise after every fall. That kind of self-trust becomes a powerful force, shaping the way you approach every area of your life. Eventually, adversity becomes something you appreciate. You stop running from it and start learning from it. You begin to recognize that what once looked like setbacks were actually setups, opportunities for growth disguised as struggle. Acting as if everything is working out includes understanding that obstacles are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. With this perspective, you walk through life differently, not hoping for an easy path, but trusting in your ability to walk the hard one with purpose and power. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a state of being that changes how you experience life. When you act as if you've already received what you desire, you begin to shift from wanting to appreciating. This change in perspective opens your mind and heart to abundance instead of focusing on what's missing. When your focus moves away from lack and toward appreciation, you naturally begin to notice opportunities, solutions, and blessings that were invisible before. It's not magic. It's awareness sharpened by gratitude. Living in gratitude before you see results also builds trust in the process. Most people delay appreciation until the outcome arrives, but those who achieve lasting success understand that gratitude itself attracts more reasons to be thankful. By being thankful in advance, you signal to your mind and emotions that the result is certain. This emotional alignment fuels patience during waiting periods, keeping you steady when doubt tries to creep in. Gratitude also softens the weight of challenges. When difficulties arise, choosing to be thankful for what you're learning reframes the entire experience. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is this teaching me?" This mindset turns even setbacks into gifts, allowing you to grow stronger rather than bitter. The person who practices gratitude sees opportunities where others only see problems. Daily practice is what makes gratitude powerful. Simple rituals like writing down what you're thankful for, speaking words of appreciation aloud, or quietly reflecting on your blessings at night create lasting change. These moments might seem small, but they slowly rewire your thoughts. Over time, gratitude becomes your natural response, not something you have to force. It stops being an exercise and becomes part of your identity. Eventually, gratitude creates a cycle of abundance in your life. The more you give thanks, the more you notice things to be thankful for. Acting as if you've already received what you desire places you emotionally in the future you are creating. You begin to live as though your blessings are already here, and life has no choice but to rise and meet that expectation. This quiet confidence attracts circumstances that match your inner state, proving that gratitude truly does accelerate the outcomes you seek. The words you choose to speak shape the reality you experience. Every time you say "if" instead of "when," you plant a seed of doubt in your subconscious mind. That doubt grows quietly, influencing your decisions, your actions, and even your level of effort. When you speak in the language of certainty, you remove the hesitation that keeps most people from committing fully to their goals. You give your mind a clear directive. Success is not optional, it is inevitable. This shift in language is subtle but powerful. Saying, "I will," instead of "I hope," changes how you see yourself. Hope implies waiting, will implies movement. Hope asks for luck, will demands action. The subconscious mind listens closely to these cues and adjusts your behavior accordingly. Over time, you begin to operate from a place of quiet confidence because your words have conditioned you to expect success, not merely wish for it. Certainty in speech also influences those around you. People can sense when you truly believe in what you're saying. They respond to your conviction, often offering support, opportunities, or encouragement simply because they trust your vision. This doesn't mean you ignore reality or pretend challenges don't exist. It means you speak with the understanding that difficulties are temporary and outcomes are worth pursuing until they are achieved. Speaking with certainty trains you to stay committed even when results are slow. Many quit because their words allow room for escape, maybe, hopefully. When you remove those escape routes, you force yourself to find solutions instead of excuses. This kind of language doesn't just inspire action, it sustains it during the long, quiet stretches of effort when no one else is watching or cheering you on. Over time, this habit reshapes your identity. You stop questioning whether you deserve success and begin to act like someone who expects it. The world tends to rise to meet people who speak with that kind of authority. Life reflects the conviction you project, and when your words declare certainty, your actions follow suit. Eventually, what once felt like bold declarations becomes normal, and the life you spoke into existence begins to materialize before your eyes. When everything around you feels chaotic, your first instinct may be to react with panic, but panic clouds judgment and weakens resolve. Remaining calm under pressure allows you to see clearly when others are blinded by fear. In moments of difficulty, composure becomes your greatest advantage because it allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. The one who can stay steady when the storm hits becomes the person everyone looks to for direction, even if they don't yet have all the answers. Composure does not mean ignoring the storm. It means refusing to be consumed by it. You acknowledge the challenge without letting it control you. This separation between circumstance and response gives you power over your emotions. Instead of spiraling into anxiety, you choose to anchor yourself in the belief that things are still unfolding in your favor. This mindset doesn't eliminate difficulties, but it prevents them from defeating you before you've even tried to overcome them. Maintaining calm also creates a space for better decisions. Fear often pushes people into rushed choices that make situations worse, while patience allows solutions to reveal themselves naturally. When you act as though the sun is shining even during the darkest moments, you become capable of seeing opportunities hidden within the chaos. This ability to find clarity amid confusion is one of the most valuable traits you can develop. Over time, composure turns into quiet confidence. Each challenge you face and overcome while staying calm reinforces your inner strength. You begin to trust yourself, not because the road is easy, but because you've proven you can walk it no matter how hard it gets. This self-trust radiates outward, influencing others and attracting support when you need it most. Calmness becomes not just a response, but a defining part of your character. Eventually, you come to see storms differently. They no longer feel like threats, but tests of your resolve. Acting as though the sun is shining doesn't mean pretending problems don't exist. It means refusing to surrender to them. With every storm you outlast, you realize that calmness is more than just inner peace. It is power. It is the quiet strength that allows you to keep moving forward until the storm passes and the sun truly shines again. The people you surround yourself with and the environments you place yourself in have a powerful influence on how you think and feel. Every conversation, every habit you observe, every belief you hear repeated leaves an imprint on your subconscious mind. If you constantly absorb negativity, fear, or doubt from those around you, it becomes nearly impossible to maintain faith in your own vision. Seeking out spaces and relationships that nurture optimism and possibility allows your belief that life is working out to grow stronger rather than weaker. Supportive energy is contagious. When you spend time with people who encourage you, challenge you to rise higher, and remind you of what's possible, you naturally begin to adopt the same mindset. Their belief reinforces your own, especially during moments when your confidence wavers. In the same way, surrounding yourself with toxic energy will slowly erode your motivation. Protecting your environment is not selfish. It is essential to staying aligned with the future you are working toward. Habits are part of this environment as well. The routines you follow, the content you consume, even the places you spend time, either strengthen your faith or weaken it. Choosing habits that fuel your growth, reading uplifting material, practicing gratitude, taking consistent action toward your goals, creates an inner world that remains steady even when outer circumstances are uncertain. Over time, these small daily choices build an unshakable foundation of belief. Distance is sometimes necessary to protect this alignment. There may be people you care about who do not share your vision or who constantly voice doubt about your path. You don't have to cut them out entirely, but you do have to limit their influence. Protecting your energy is about knowing when to listen and when to step back so you can remain focused on what you are building. Boundaries allow you to stay compassionate without sacrificing your own progress. Eventually, seeking aligned energy becomes second nature. You naturally gravitate toward environments and relationships that inspire you and away from those that drain you. As this shift happens, your faith in the idea that everything is working out becomes easier to maintain. Life feels lighter, progress feels faster, and your vision feels more possible because you're no longer fighting against the current of negativity. You are surrounded by energy that carries you forward rather than holds you back. Periods of waiting often feel like wasted time, but they can become some of the most valuable seasons of growth if you choose to use them well. When results are not visible yet, it is tempting to become frustrated or impatient, but those emotions do nothing to move you forward. Instead of seeing waiting as a pause, view it as preparation. The time you have now is an opportunity to sharpen your skills, strengthen your mindset, and build the foundation required for the future you're pursuing. Preparation during quiet seasons ensures that when opportunities arrive, you're ready to seize them. Many people pray for success or dream about success, but are unprepared when it finally shows up. They ask for the weight of a bigger life without building the strength to carry it. Using waiting periods to learn, practice, and improve guarantees that when the door opens, you can walk through it confidently rather than hesitating because you're not equipped. Refining character is just as important as refining skills. Success can expose flaws that go unnoticed when life is small. If patience, discipline, or humility are lacking, challenges will magnify those weaknesses. The quiet stretches of waiting give you time to address them without the pressure of immediate results. This inner work often determines how well you handle the blessings you're preparing for, ensuring you can sustain them rather than lose them. Waiting is also the perfect time to adjust your vision. As you grow, your perspective deepens, and your understanding of what you want may evolve. Instead of resenting delays, use them to reassess and align your goals with your current values and knowledge. Sometimes the waiting isn't punishment, it's protection, keeping you from receiving something before you're truly ready for it. Eventually, the waiting ends, and what once felt like endless preparation proves to have been essential. You realize that the skills you developed, the patience you cultivated, and the character you refined during the quiet moments are exactly what allow you to thrive when things finally accelerate. Acting as if everything always works out means trusting that even in waiting, life is moving in your favor, preparing you for what's coming, even when you can't yet see it. Acting as if everything always works out is often misunderstood as simple positive thinking, but it is much more than that. It requires action, repeated consistently, even on days when progress feels invisible. True belief in an outcome is proven not by the words you speak, but by the steps you take toward it. Discipline bridges the gap between vision and reality. Without it, dreams remain fantasies. Each deliberate action signals to your mind that success is not optional, it is inevitable. This discipline does not come from motivation alone, because motivation is fleeting. Some days you will wake up eager to work, and other days you will feel like giving up. Those who succeed understand that showing up anyway is what separates them from the rest. Discipline means doing what is required regardless of how you feel in the moment. It transforms belief into momentum, and momentum eventually becomes achievement. Every small effort builds upon the last, creating a compounding effect over time. A single day of work may not feel significant, but months of steady action create results that surprise even you. Acting if means trusting that every small step matters, even when no one is watching. It is in the invisible, ordinary days that extraordinary results are born. Discipline is the quiet force that turns intention into lasting change. This relentless action also builds resilience. By committing to consistent work, you prove to yourself that you can endure setbacks and keep moving forward. The habit of persistence makes challenges less intimidating because you no longer depend on immediate results for motivation. Instead, your focus shifts to the process itself, the daily routines and habits that gradually transform your life. In time, this level of commitment reshapes not only your results, but also your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone chasing a dream and start seeing yourself as someone living it. Every action you take reinforces this belief until it becomes unshakable. Acting as if everything always works out is not passive daydreaming. It is a lifestyle of disciplined, relentless action rooted in faith that the outcome is already yours. Each step forward, no matter how small it seems, is proof that you are moving in the right direction. Progress is rarely loud or dramatic. It often shows up quietly, in subtle improvements or tiny wins that others might overlook. When you choose to recognize these moments, you build momentum. A single encouraging sign, a conversation, a small result, an unexpected opportunity becomes a reminder that your efforts are working, even if the finish line is still out of sight. Celebrating small progress is not about settling for less. It is about fueling your journey. Every acknowledgement of movement forward reinforces the belief that things are unfolding as they should. This mindset transforms the process from a struggle into something meaningful. Instead of waiting for one big breakthrough to feel proud, you allow yourself to feel proud throughout the journey. That pride becomes energy, keeping you consistent even when motivation fades. These small celebrations also protect you from discouragement. Many people abandon their goals because they only measure success by the ultimate outcome. They fail to notice the quiet victories happening along the way, the skills they've gained, the habits they've built, the fears they've overcome. By honoring these moments, you remind yourself that progress is happening, even if it's slower than you hoped. That awareness gives you the patience to continue. Recognizing small steps also shifts your focus to the present. Instead of constantly fixating on how far you still have to go, you begin to value how far you've already come. This perspective reduces anxiety and makes the journey feel lighter. It teaches you to find satisfaction in growth itself rather than postponing happiness until the goal is complete. Over time, these celebrations accumulate into a powerful force. They create a positive feedback loop where progress leads to gratitude, gratitude leads to motivation, and motivation leads to more progress. By honoring each step, you train your mind to expect good things and to trust the process. Eventually, you realize that success is not just about reaching the destination. It is about appreciating every small sign that life is indeed working out in your favor. Seeing the finish line before it is visible to others is what separates those who create extraordinary lives from those who wait for permission to begin. Most people will only believe in your vision once it becomes tangible, but that belief comes too late to help you through the early stages. In the beginning, it is often a lonely road. You must learn to carry the image of success so clearly in your mind that you can celebrate it long before the world sees any evidence of it. This ability to hold the vision becomes crucial when doubts arise, not only your own, but also from those around you. Friends and family may question your choices, unable to understand why you are working so hard for something they cannot yet see. Their doubt is not always malicious. It is simply a reflection of their own limitations. In these moments, your inner conviction must be stronger than their uncertainty. You must believe for everyone else until the results speak for themselves. Applauding yourself in the beginning creates the motivation to keep going when there is no external validation. The crowd cheers loudly at the finish line, but silence is what you hear during the process. By celebrating every milestone privately, you sustain your energy and remind yourself why you started in the first place. This self-acknowledgement is not arrogance, it is self-preservation. Without it, the quiet stretches of work can feel endless and defeating. Holding the vision also keeps your focus sharp. When the goal is clear in your mind, distractions lose their power over you. Temporary discomforts, delays, or setbacks become less discouraging because your attention remains fixed on the destination. Even when circumstances look unfavorable, the mental picture of where you are going serves as a compass, guiding every decision and every step forward. Eventually, the vision that only you could see becomes reality. The same people who doubted you in the beginning will marvel at how inevitable it all seems in hindsight. But by then, you will know the truth. Success was born the moment you decided to believe in what no one else could see. By applauding yourself at the start, you created the strength to cross the finish line long before anyone else realized it was there. Trusting that the right things arrive at the right time is one of the most freeing mindsets you can develop. So much stress in life comes from trying to control the pace of events, forcing results to appear before they are ready. This impatience creates unnecessary frustration and blinds you to the opportunities unfolding around you. When you release the need to dictate every moment, you allow life to unfold naturally, often in ways better than you originally imagined. Detaching from the timeline doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means trusting the process while continuing to work diligently. You still take action every day, but you stop obsessing over when things will happen. This balance of effort and surrender removes the weight of pressure and allows you to focus on what you can control. Your attitude, your consistency, and your faith in the outcome. The rest will align when the timing is right. Often, what feels like a delay is actually preparation. The extra time may be allowing you to grow stronger, gain new skills, or avoid unseen pitfalls. If what you're seeking came too soon, it might overwhelm you or slip through your hands because you weren't fully ready to receive it. Trusting the timing means believing that even the pauses serve a purpose, even when you cannot see it yet. This mindset also protects your emotional energy. When you obsess over deadlines that don't materialize, discouragement quickly follows. The remainder of your life, by letting go of rigid expectations, you free yourself to remain calm and focused. You stop judging your progress by artificial clocks and start valuing the quiet growth that is happening beneath the surface. This calmness not only preserves your mental strength, but also attracts better opportunities because you approach life without desperation. Eventually, you learn that divine timing rarely matches your personal schedule, and that this is a gift. The breakthroughs that arrive often come at the precise moment they are most beneficial, even if that moment surprises you. Looking back, you'll see how the timing was perfect all along. When you trust that everything is unfolding as it should, then you create space for peace in the present and confidence in the future, knowing life is always working out for you. Faith without action is nothing more than wishful thinking, and action without faith is exhausting because it lacks direction. When you combine the two, you create unstoppable momentum. Faith gives you the vision to see beyond your current circumstances, while action turns that vision into reality. One without the other leaves you incomplete, but together they create a force that carries you through obstacles and sustains you when progress is slow. Faith alone can make you feel inspired, but without steps to back it up, inspiration fades. Many people spend years waiting for life to change because they believe but do not act. They tell themselves they are trusting the process while doing nothing to prepare for what they're asking for. True faith is proven by movement, by taking the next step even when the entire staircase is hidden. It's this combination of trust and effort that builds real change. Similarly, action without faith can leave you burnt out. You work tirelessly, but doubt eats away at your energy, convincing you your efforts might never pay off. Without a deep belief in the outcome, every setback feels like proof that you should quit. Faith provides the fuel to keep going when your results aren't visible yet. It reminds you why you started and assures you that the work you're doing has meaning, even before it pays off. When faith and action work together, you approach challenges differently. Instead of panicking when plans shift, you trust there's a reason and keep moving forward anyway. Your belief steadies your emotions, and your actions reinforce that belief daily. This creates a cycle where faith drives effort and effort strengthens faith, a loop of momentum that builds unstoppable confidence over time. Eventually, this harmony transforms the way you live. You no longer rely on motivation to start or external validation to continue. Your faith assures you the outcome is certain, and your actions prove it to yourself and others. This combination allows you to act boldly, persist patiently, and endure whatever challenges arise, knowing every step is bringing you closer to the reality you've already envisioned. The moments before sleep are some of the most powerful for shaping your beliefs because your mind is quiet and open. What you feed it in that state sinks deeply into your subconscious, where it continues to work while you rest, ending your day by affirming, "Everything is working out for me." Creates a sense of closure no matter what happened that day. It signals to your mind that there is no need to carry worry into tomorrow. Even if challenges remain unsolved, this statement plants the seed of certainty, that solutions are already forming. Repeating this affirmation nightly begins to reprogram your inner dialogue. Over time, it shifts you from anxiety to trust, from doubt to quiet confidence. Of your life, you begin to approach mornings differently because the belief you planted the night before is still present. When you wake, this cycle of affirming at night and acting with faith during the day creates powerful consistency. It transforms acting as if from an idea into a habit embedded into your daily life. The more you affirm this belief, the more your actions start to align with it. Subconsciously, you begin looking for evidence that supports your statement, and you find it not because life suddenly changes overnight, but because your perception changes. You notice opportunities you would have ignored and take steps you would have hesitated to take. This mindset shift attracts better outcomes because your energy and behavior are rooted in expectation rather than fear. This simple nightly practice also helps release the weight of the day. Instead of replaying mistakes or worrying about tomorrow, you close the day with peace. It trains your mind to rest, knowing progress is still happening even when you're not actively working. Over weeks and months, this consistent peace builds resilience. It allows you to face challenges without being consumed by them because you've built it of trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. Eventually, this affirmation becomes more than words. It becomes your reality. You don't just say it, you live it. The expectation that life works out for you begins to influence every decision you make and every step you take. What started as a nightly habit turns into a way of being, and you find yourself experiencing more ease, more solutions, and more success than before. Life responds to this belief by delivering exactly what you've been affirming, everything working out in your favor.